Okay, my friends, here we go, making ham and cheese pizza pockets. Not truly a bender. If our recipes say that, it's probably more of a pocket. And again, the reason behind us doing this particular lab is for us to see that sometimes foods are not eaten strictly by themselves by the food groups. But by taking and consuming these two things right here, we're actually getting all of the food groups. Can you identify what particular ingredient supplies our dairy? Look at both of them. Did you notice there is cheese as well as milk in our recipes? That's our dairy group. How about the grain group? What in here is from our grain group? Did you say the frozen roll dough? If you did, that's correct. Take a look for the protein group. What in here is in the protein group? Did you identify the cooked ham? If you did, that's your protein group. What about the fruit group? What in here is your fruits? Did you look through and say, aha, the strawberries and the banana? If you did, you got it good. What about our vegetable group? What's in our vegetable group? Nutritionally speaking, tomatoes are a vegetable. Maybe not biologically in your biology class or your science class, but nutritionally, vegetables or tomatoes come in our vegetable group. And of course, spaghetti sauce is made from tomatoes. So by eating these foods, we're going to pick up nutrients from all of the different food groups, which is great for our body. All right, previous to this recording, I've gone ahead and washed my hands for 20 seconds. I'm not going to wear gloves to make the pizza pockets. I will have read through the recipe, which I totally understand. I have assembled my ingredients and my equipment, so everything's right here at my fingertips. So the first thing up on my list is to take and to preheat the oven to 400 degrees. That's a very hot oven. Before you push start on your oven to get it preheated, make sure that your rack is in the middle, because it's a lot better to change it when the oven's cold than when it's hot. If you say, oh, I'll just skip it, you're going to find that your food does not cook evenly. Either the tops will be overcooked and the bottoms burned, or bottoms doughy, or the bottoms will be overcooked and the tops will be maybe doughy. So make sure your cookie sheet or your oven rack is in the middle before you push the start button on 400 degrees. All right, the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take and prepare a tray. Now, we don't have to use foil if we don't want to, but we want to in our class because we are tight on time. And this will take and help us speed up quick, or help us get out of here quickly, because we can throw the baked on cheese from our pizza pockets into the garbage cans. Did I say I'm not wearing gloves because we're baking? If I didn't, I am doing so now. I'm also going to take and kind of attach this to my cookie sheet so that piece of foil doesn't make a magic carpet ride across my floor when I go to move this cookie sheet. So I'm going to put this on my cookie sheet, and then it says I'm going to spray it with a nonstick spray. I could use oil on a paper towel and just rub it on the top. That would also work. When you spray a nonstick spray, you want it to be about 8 to 10, 12 inches away, and I don't want to have any rivers of oil coming down here. So it's pretty quick. Don't beleaguer anything, just really fast over the top of it, and you'll be good to go. All right, head chefs will be picking this up from me at the when they pick up the food. And I'm going to just place this to the side. And the next thing that it says that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hand slice and I'm going to chop this. And a chop, remember, is about 1/4 of an inch, about the size of a slightly bigger Tic Tac. I don't know, is there such a thing? Tic Tacs come in one size. Remember to use a claw, finger, and you're going to cut these into about the size, about the thickness of maybe your pinky. All right, they're not super tiny, they're not super big, and I'm just going to make them all kind of like, can you have ham French fries? And then you're going to take these same things and you're going to go across and make these into little cubes, all about the same size. Can you see those look a little bit like maybe a double Tic Tac? That's about the size that I'm going for. okay? I'll put this in my sink, or not my sink, I'll put it behind my sink so that I can wash it later. Step number 4 is to grate some cheese. And you know how I am with my cheese grater. I have a love-hate relationship. I love that it collapses and doesn't take up a lot of room in my drawer, but I hate it when I go to grate, sometimes it collapses on me. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on a flat surface, wax paper, and like I said before, you can take and do this onto a plate, but in the big picture, you gotta wash a plate, and you don't have to wash a piece of wax paper. Can you see my grater's starting to wanna collapse a little bit? I'm gonna get all the cheese off here. I'm gonna go inside and get this. When you wash it, make sure you're washing not only the outside, but you get in here and wash as well. All right, we got our cheese. Now it talks about rolling out our dough. The dough that I'm using is a pre-made bread product, and I have Let It Rise plenty. These are just individual rolls that, and I'm getting what's called a Texas size or ranch size, depending on who you talk to or who's selling it. And I'm going to actually not put any of flour on my countertop. I'm going to use the stickiness of the dough to help me roll this out, because it says on my recipe I want to roll it out into a rectangle about 1/4 of an inch thin. You're going to get out your rolling pin and you're going to try to keep it into a rectangle. All right, see, I'm kind of going here, there, and I'm kind of getting this as flat as I possibly can. Then after I've got this into a rectangle, if it's not perfect, I can pick it up and stretch it. Isn't that the great truth? Then it says I'm going to put about 1/2 tablespoon of spaghetti sauce in the middle, which is good. And I want to not spread it. I'm just going to leave it. When it bakes, it will spread out. I'm going to put in about 2 tablespoons of ham. I'm just going to pop it in there. Okay. Then I'm going to take a pinch of cheese. Remember, this is going to be divided between the 4 of you. And then I'm going to roll it up. Let's go ahead and do all of them so that you can see what I'm talking about. All right, this is my second one. Let's go ahead and roll this into a rectangle. All right, well, that doesn't look much like a rectangle, but I can make it a rectangle. Oh, and one thing that some of you are going to want to do is you're going to want to pick this up and play with it a couple of times, and that's just going to be big time trouble for you. The dough has flour in it, of course, and the flour has a substance in it called gluten. I'll bet you've heard of it. Well, gluten becomes super strong and elasticy the more that you play with it. And I don't want it to become super strong and elastic. I guess I can leave that here. And I'm just kind of getting that into a rectangle. I want it to be something that I control when it gets to collapse in and when it stretches out. Right now it's fairly tender, and so I can work with it a whole lot better than if it's all strong and elastic. I just want it tender and elastic. All right, we'll go ahead and put on about 1 tablespoon of this. This could be pizza sauce. This one actually right here is a marinara sauce. It all has to do with how long they cook them, but they all taste the same, more or less. Different manufacturers might have something that's different. And we'll just go through, and I'm gonna add that all nice and even. I'll add my cheese all nice and even to every one of them. And let's just take this whole paper over, and there's my cheese. Now this part right here is just a little bit tricky, so watch carefully. I'm going to pick this up, these 2 corners, and I'm going to hold them, and then I'm going to pick up these 2 corners, and I'm going to pinch them. I'm going to pinch them like I have a snotty little brother. Pinch it hard, okay? And I'm just going to fold that over. Then I'm going to come over here. I'm not going to try to pick this up, because if I pick it up, the spaghetti sauce is going to come out, and that makes it so it won't stick. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Come over here, pinch, pinch, pinch. Everything's pinched super tight, and I'm going to roll that over. I'm going to roll this in, and all this, the ends are going to be hidden. I'm going to roll this over so that the pretty side is up, and then I'm going to place this on my cookie sheet. Again, pick up these two with your thumb and pointer. I know, with your ring finger and your middle finger, and the bottom is still stuck on the countertop a bit. Pinch, 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 fold it over. Then I'm gonna come over here, and again, I don't wanna see, had a little bit of sauce right there. Oh, it's a piece of ham. You don't want that sauce. It's gonna be like an anti-stick job. And pull that in, and again, right here, pinch, 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 pinch. You see that? And then tuck it in. And again, this is the bottom, so I'm just roll that over now and put that on my cookie sheet. Don't put them so close to one another that they're touching. You want to have maybe 2 inches apart. And again, pinch, 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 roll it over. Ooh, look at, I've got cheese coming out. You guys get back inside there. Get inside, nobody's coming out. And then I'm gonna pinch, pinch, pinch. Can't get your cheese or your ham in that pinch or it's not gonna work. I'm pushing really hard, can you tell that? And then I'm gonna come over here, pinch, 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 pinch. And again, the ugly side, no, I don't wanna call you ugly. Well, the unfinished side is going down, so I'll roll it over. This is very thin and you can put your finger through it if you're not careful. And now my last one, again, thumb and forefinger. Ring and middle finger, and pinch the corners first. Then kind of pull up. You can shove that down if you need to. Pinch, 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 pinch. And then tip that over on the side. And then pinch, pinch, just as hard as you possibly can. Roll that inside. And the last one right here, oh look at, some of my sauce is trying to get out. Some of my cheese is getting out. I don't want it out. So get that cheese inside and get that cheese inside. I'm just gonna stretch this up because I don't want any sauce in there because it's just gonna make a mess. Pinch, 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 and roll that inside. Does that make sense? Lots of pinching, lots of pinching. If you have fingernails, you're gonna wanna be careful because if you're not careful, you'll poke through the dough and then you're gonna have trouble. Okay, you can adjust them so they all look the same. You know, if you want them a little bit longer, you can pull them a little touch, okay? And then I'm ready to put it in the oven. A couple of things when you put it in the oven, just as a review. You're gonna open the oven door slightly and let the initial blast of 400 degrees, that's hot, come out. Then open the door all the way down. Pull out the rack, and then place these where you want them to be. Not too far to the back, nor the front, the right, or the left. There should be equal distance around all sides. And remember, in this class, the person who puts it in the oven is the one who sets the timer. I'm gonna bake these for 13 minutes, and then I'll show you what they look like as they come out, okay? All right, good times ahead. We'll see you in a minute.